Best of R / Tales from Retail episode 139. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. No haggling here. The pharmacy retail store I used to work at also had a photo department where I worked at a lot of the time. By the time I was hired they had stopped processing film and store, so we were basically just a glorified print shop. There were a couple touchscreen monitors for customers to use so that they could upload photos and create an order for us to print. About half of the customers I dealt with had no idea how to use this machine, so I would walk it through with them until they understood. One day I was helping a woman at the monitor. English was definitely not her first language, so I was making sure to ask multiple times if what we were choosing to order was what she wanted. She said yes, even after I would point at the print size and amount of each print she had told me to order. I placed the order and started to print it. Her order had a few 4x6 and 8x10 pictures, and 8x10 photos were around $5.99 each if I remember correctly. Most people did not pay attention to the pricing until checkout, but when I help people at the monitors I make sure they look at the total amount they have to pay before placing an order. That way they stay happy and we don't waste materials printing out photos people don't want to pay for. This lady still wanted all of her photos even though she was going to be paying quite a bit for her 8x10s. In the case there is a mistake made when printing, or if someone does not want a certain photo, we do not simply throw it away. There is a special box we place the photos in that gets sent to be shredded in order to protect the privacy of customers. So after I print out the lady's photos I bring them up to the counter and let her inspect them before paying. L equals lady, me equals me. L. I did not want these. Pointing at 8x10 photos. Me. You don't want any of them. I had made sure when ordering them that this is what you wanted. L. No, I don't want. Only these. Pointing at 4x6 photos. Me. Okay. I'm a little frustrated at this point because I spent a lot of time making sure we understood each other. I just blame the language barrier and start to adjust her order so she is not charged for the 8x10s. Then I take the 8x10 pictures and put them in the shredder box. L. What happens to pictures if I don't buy? Me. They get thrown away to be shredded. L. I pay $1.50 then. Me. So, you do want the pictures? L. Yes, but I pay $1.50 since they're getting thrown away. Me. No ma'am. We do not haggle prices here. If you want them you need to pay full price. Lady ends up not buying the 8x10 photos. I couldn't help but think that the lady's plan the entire time was to try and get those photos for a significantly cheaper price. Thank you. Next. Lady made me smile. I work at a supermarket as a personal shopper. That entails going out into the store with a bunch of bins and getting items from the shelves for customers to pick up. It's normally pretty boring, but yesterday, something changed. I was getting some milk for customers and this woman came up to the shelf next to me. I didn't notice her at first, just doing my business, scanning items, bagging them, and putting them in the bins. After a bit, the lady spoke up. "Thank you for making the shelves beautiful," she said, causing me to turn to her. There weren't any other associates within speaking distance, so I knew she was talking to me. "I know you all are working very hard, so thank you," she continued. I wasn't sure what to say, so I said something along the lines of "You'll want to thank the associates that stock the shelves. I just take the items down." She continued to thank me for my hard work, being very sweet the whole time. Soon, I had to leave to continue my job. Before I left, she said "Have a beautiful day." That last part really made me smile. I kept smiling all the way back to the back room to drop off the bins. If that lady is somehow reading this, thank you for making my day. Thank you. Next. Marilyn Manson gets mad about cigarettes. First post here, so hopefully I'm doing this right. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Okay, so here's the story. I work at a convenience store in South Texas. It's like a mom and pop type shop, so it's a single store, not part of a franchise or whatever. I've been working as a cashier here for almost a year. It'll be a year in August. This happened about half a year ago or so. Honestly, I can't remember exactly when. I wasn't the cashier involved, but it happened when I was working. Anyway, I come back from break, or out of the bathroom or something, and I see one of our regular customers yelling about something. He's a tall guy in his late 30s early 40s and goth. Think Marilyn Manson light. He dresses in the same style. I've seen him in the store many times and rung him up a few times as well, but never really spoke to him. This particular day he's yelling loudly about some cigarettes. He said they expired and he wanted a refund. At our store we are not allowed to do exchanges or refunds for tobacco products. The only exception is if they come back within like maybe 10 or less minutes after buying it, and it's unopened. And even then we don't really do anything like that. So I guess it depends on the case, but I digress. So my boss tries to see the date at the bottom and can't see what it says. It's scratched off. Then he asks the guy if he has his receipt. He says number. So my boss is saying there's nothing he can do, but he's willing to give the guy another pack of the same cigarettes, for free, or maybe a lower price. Full stop. Wouldn't be a refund or an exchange. Sounds like a deal, right? Not according to this guy. He started yelling about calling the cops on us and getting us shut down. My boss was done at that point and told the guy to go ahead and do it, but whatever he did, he'd have to leave the store before he did so. Then the guy said this: I'm going to call the searches for word ASPCA on you guys and you shut down. I was laughing so hard after he left. He never did call anyone and he hasn't been back since. Thank you. Next. How dare you give me the correct change? This happened 1-2 years ago. It was the weekend so the store was filled with people. My next customer was a middle-aged woman with a short blonde haircut, eyelash extensions that needed refilling, etc. She paid with cash and when I was about to give her change, she decided she didn't want one of the items anymore. So I refunded her the item. I gave her the change from the first transaction, original purchase, plus the amount for the item she returned. She looked at the money I gave her and said it wasn't right. I explained the whole process. You gave me this much, then you returned this item. The value of that item was this much, so this is what you get back. At this point she was adamant I was wrong and she was right. She did the whole dramatic sigh and eye roll thing and began talking very loudly, so other customers could hear, that I had given her the wrong change. I told her again that the amount I have given her was correct. One of my managers was nearby and told the customer that we can count all the money in the register to make sure the correct change was given. Side note, I have social anxiety, so being talked down to, in front of a whole line of customers, and then having her stand there and watch while I counted all the money in the register was horrible. I was shaking the entire time. As soon as my manager told her I had given her the correct change, the customer stopped looking at me and acted like I didn't exist. She directed her conversation only to my manager and made up excuses that she must have gotten mixed up. She then left the store, completely ignoring me. I guess an apology was too much to expect. Thank you. Next. When a customer that didn't buy anything from you gets mad you don't stock parts for items you don't carry. Just had this lovely exchange. Lady called me up about a bracket for her new fireplace she bought. Told me yeah, there are 3 brackets and they only gave me 2. You should have 1 in stock. Well, sorry but most of what I sell doesn't do this. In talking to her, find out she bought a unit online and it was missing a bracket. Came with 2 not 3. So, she called the manufacturer and they don't sell that unit anymore or that bracket. So she is getting angry at me and just keeps saying, it's a bracket. You should have 1 or be able to make on for me. Anyways, to appease her I tell her to bring it down so I can see exactly what she is dealing with. Get it? I'll be right down but I'm not coming in. You have to meet me at my car. So I do. Well, when she hands me the bracket it's actually 2 stuck together. She had them both. I shake my head and walk back inside. So I just got berated by someone too stupid to realize she had what she needed the whole time. God, I love retail sometimes. Sigh. Thank you. Next. Apparently I'm evil. I work in a furniture store. So yesterday, a customer comes in, she's holding an out-of-date ad magazine. She shows points to a pic of some living room shelves advertised for $199. I politely tell her that I can show it to her, but the ad has expired and she would have to buy it for the regular price, but I offered to talk to my boss whether he could give her at least a bit of a reduced price. She gets angry. The following ensues. Customer, look, here, it says it's valid until the 11th. Me, after checking, very politely, I'm sorry ma'am, but this clearly states that the offer for 30% off is valid until then, and that the ads are valid until the 4th. Customer 2, but we drove all the way here. Me, I am really sorry, as I said, I can talk to my boss. After doing so, I offered them a discount. Customer 1, but we wanted for the ad price. It clearly states it here. Me, ma'am, as I said, explains it again. Customer 2, this is outrageous. Customer 1, this is a shame to trick innocent people like us. I will never shop here again. Me, okay. Having given up, I walk away as they stomp away angrily. I start making my way to another customer, when I hear customer 1 say this to customer 2. Look, she's looking for another victim. Thank you. Next. This is very unsafe, sir. LOL, do it anyway. So, many years ago I was working as a supervisor at a furniture outlet store. I was working with a middle-aged man that was trying to pick up a power reclining sofa. However, his van that he wanted to pick it up in could only fit about half the sofa in the trunk. So he asks if there is another way to get it home. The conversation goes like this. Me and C4 customer. Me, sorry sir, but looks like the only way you're getting this home is either to schedule it for delivery or come back with a different vehicle like a pickup truck or a U-Haul. C, what if we put it on the roof and strap it down? Me, on the roof of your van? C, yes. Me, so that is very unsafe for a lot of reasons, so I am not going to do that. C, oh come on man, can't you just put it up? It can't be that bad. Me, no sir, this is very unsafe for both of you and here is why. That is a power reclining sofa and it is over £1,000, so we are not going to be able to lift it over our heads to get it on top of your van without hurting ourselves. We can't use our life trucks to move it on top of your car because this sofa is almost as long as your van and the top of a car is slippy. Also, even if we could, this sofa is so heavy it will likely dent and scratch your car. This sofa is very lopsided, so if you take a turn too sharp you will likely roll over your car, injuring yourself and everyone around you. C, oh come on man, you're over-exaggerating. Me, over-exaggerating about you possibly rolling your car? We went back and forth for a while and I ended up needing to get my supervisor, then his supervisor, the general manager, and then her supervisor, the store owner. It took 4 people explaining the same thing of we don't want to hurt ourselves or for you to die, and he just ended up leaving in a huff, dissatisfied and brushing yous all off. Some people really don't understand that an employee saying if you do X you will hurt yourself is not an attempt to inconvenience you.